So even more so, back to like the ministry of truth. It's great. You didn't even know that was going on.
I saw it on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter, or no, on Instagram or something. But
it's ridiculous, man.
I don't even have. My Facebook got hacked. My Twitter is got hacked. Everything got hacked, dude. Like
that was probably a blessing, dude. That was probably God.
My Instagram is the only thing that's still working, dude. And I just stopped posting like shit on Instagram because I was like, either you got it or you don't got it. You know what I mean? Like because I was posting things and I was just like, dude, I've been posting for 2 years by now with Corona, and now I'm just trying to like keep the mood light. And I'm just like, I feel like if you haven't woken up to it by now, then you're never going to. You know what I mean?
100%. Cheers, brother. Cheers. Cheers to you, man. Poor Steve's making a pie.
He's not even. He's fucking vacuuming all.
But I want to get to your point about like the Instagram thing. You know what's one thing that I realized? So what did you say about it? Like those types of things, they're like a tool for you. Hey, pull it, dude. Feel comfortable. Control. Like.
No, I'm kidding. This way, Steve.
Dude, I was literally watching Chris D'Elia today, and they were like working their microphones.
Yeah, I mean.
And I'm like, and here you. So to Danilo's point, he was talking about how we've got a tool or a cancer. It can either be something that makes you depressed about how you look, depressed about your life, depressed about this, that, and the other thing, or it could be a really useful tool to get your podcast out there, to engage in different types of ideas and conversations, maybe learn some new perspectives, or at least keep your ear to the ground to hear what the majority of people are saying. Here's what's weird, though, dude. This is what I've been doing with my Instagram from day one. You could go to my Instagram, and it was never like a bunch of cheesy pictures and then evolved into me making videos. You gave me this platform at a young age before social standards were created, and my favorite thing to do with it was, dub smash, make silly voices and do little crazy videos. That's what I did with it. Now it's evolved into there's one way to do Instagram. You either are taking pictures in front of Bentleys, you're either taking pictures in front of flashy shit, you're in your bikinis, or you're on the beach with your shirt off, or you don't use Instagram right.
Right.
The amount of people that have a disdain for the way I use my Instagram, how weird is that? What a weird statement to begin with. But they have disdain for me for the way I use my Instagram because personally what I think it is people are trapped into, I want to fit, this is the way you use the platform, right. And I don't like the way I look. I don't feel comfortable in this life, but I have to use Instagram this way. Here's this dude using it the way he wants. He looks silly. He's doing whatever and that's not how you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to take a picture looking the best on the beach. You're supposed to do it. And I think the disdain is rooted in the fact that they are forced, because of peer pressure and wanting to fit in, they're forced to use the platform in this certain way that deep down, their nature doesn't want to.
Right. I think they might be kind of taken aback by your uniqueness, which in reality is every human being is unique. There's no
boom. That emphasizes
it.
I think that's why they hate having to conform.
Which is why you look at God, you look at nature, you look at a bug. There's never the same bug. You look at everything that happens in your life. There's never repetition. The universe never repeats itself. You know what I mean? Which is why it's frustrating to me when people are on Instagram. Sometimes I do fucking take pictures or show where I'm at. I think it's my ego.
You got to.
Everyone has the ego. I think the key is to be aware of the ego, that it doesn't overtake you. Does that make sense? The problem is so many people nowadays have been overtaken by the ego, they can't even control it. You know what I mean? And that is their identity. And it's their identity. They want to be like this person, that person, that person. It's copying. When in reality, you need to be unique. That's what I think. But you're right. I think people may be taken aback by your uniqueness.
Dude, even this. Look at
and the fact that you have the courage to be unique. Because many people don't have the courage to stand up for themselves and be themselves. Because they fear of what other people think. Which it's very difficult to come to a point where you don't give a shit what people think. Because you have to become very aware of who you are. Because if you become aware of who you are, then you have a sense of freedom and you have a sense of confidence that you don't care what other people think because you know who you are. That's it.
How cool? Yeah, dude, I love it.
I just wanted to knock him and him pull a wine glass or something.
You're right.
No, that was great thinking.
But real quick, with what you're saying,
You catch yourself in the frame, Steve. Be a part of it. Because at least this opening part, I can make a clip about it.
and what you're saying about your Instagram, is it that though, or is it exactly you're not saying what they want you to be saying? Because that's what I've noticed on social media lately is if you don't agree with me, you're not allowed to talk. What are you talking about? You're not allowed to talk. I have my opinion. That's what social media is all about. That's why Elon Musk takes over Twitter, and guess what happens? Freedom of speech is there, or is it gone? No, it's only coming back more than ever. This dude goes to the Met Gala with his mother. Everyone else is showing up with other people, and this dude shows up with his mom. He doesn't.
Now, wait, I want to pump the brakes. Now, it's only because Danilo's here. We were having such a great philosophical conversation, and my nature has to come out, dude. I'm going off the rails. Danilo.
Right.
We have our opinion that is quite close aligned on the Met Gala.
Okay. Yes.
I do truly believe Elon Musk is a good guy. I think he's fighting for the good guys.
I don't know,
but
man.
But that dude was at the Met Gala, and again, your point goes, I don't know, man. There's something also, he's on SNL. He's very much, if I go, you're crazy if you don't see that Trump is just as much a bad guy as Hillary Clinton. If we know they play in this game of controlled opposition, how do we know that Elon Musk isn't one of the bad guys?
I'm just going to kind of go off of what I have researched, I would say, over the past 6-7 years. I think that, first of all, the company Tesla, there's a story about how Nikola Tesla, about 120, 130 years ago, actually created an electric car. And Westinghouse, I believe, was the main guy that was funding all these inventors and stuff. He showed Westinghouse the car that he made. And Westinghouse was like, can we make a profit out of it? And it was basically, Tesla knew that there was some sort of electrical source. He called it the ether that connects everything. So, but we can't see it. It's very metaphysical. It's not physical. You can't see it with the five senses. And he didn't even know how to explain it. But he, using the ether and using the electrical source, the source of where all electricity comes from in the universe, he was able to create a car. And that car was able to connect itself to the electrical stimulus or the electrical sources in our universe for it to go. So anything that connects me, they know about this. And now you have Elon Musk, who has created the company Tesla. Probably it might be just a way to kind of spit in his face or whatever. It's just kind of maybe I don't really know how to explain it. But they need the way they create these electric cars, the batteries are lithium batteries.
Yep.
In Serbia, there was a huge protest and all that stuff because they wanted to take down one of the most beautiful landscapes, one of the most naturally rich resourced area in Serbia because it was called Rio Tinto, and they wanted to dig for lithium. Why do they want to dig for lithium? Because they want to dig for lithium for the electrical batteries, right? So that's why they want to kill all sources of natural resources, because natural resources and nature connects you to God. It has its own frequency. Nature has its frequency that is godlike, which brings us peace, which takes us away from trauma, fear, hate. It brings us back to our sense of love and our sense of light. So they want to kill all natural resources. Also, Tesla. If the guy's fucking good guy, why the fuck does he have to buy $44 billion? Why does he spend $44 billion to buy Twitter? What the hell? Go spend $44 billion on feeding people, helping people, and that's it.
But don't fall for that trap. Because
Because
the governments can do that. The governments have enough.
Absolutely.
More than
points.
Okay,
you're right.
So the governments should be the one, if they're concerned about people dying. Not a guy who made billions and billions of dollars. So
you're right. You're right. I agree with you.
Yeah. Also, it is a company being run by truly bad people right now.
Okay.
That's the problem.
But regarding Elon Musk and Tesla, listen, anybody, once you get that big in the world, the country, money, power, government, you get a little corrupt. There's just no way ifs, ands, or buts about it. You just have to be. So Elon Musk, I don't truly think he believes in electric cars to the bottom of his heart. He saw a business idea and decision that he could make money off of. And that's Elon Musk, because what has he always done? Money, business, right? He's always been involved in that type of stuff. Grow whatever dollar I have, let's grow to $2. Yeah. $2 to $4, $4 to, and now he's a billionaire, right? That's how he's always operated his whole life. When it came to Tesla, I think he saw all these, whatever you want to call them, I'm going to call them freakos that want electric cars, not understanding that how is electric car actually getting charged from natural resources.
I also
getting charged. So with that being said, now Elon Musk buys Twitter, right? He buys Twitter for $44 billion. To me, I look at it a slightly different way than you. I look at it as Elon Musk bought a company for $44 billion to save freedom of speech in this country because he saw it going down. Obviously, in the rest of the world, freedom of speech has kind of been hit or miss depending on what country you're in.
I'm sorry, I know. Yeah. Oh no, I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
No, I am.
I just didn't want to. So there was, I don't know. This might be like a little bit of a stretch, but there was some guy that posted. I think it was like on Instagram. I don't know if if you heard of this guy Larry Johnson, like the Kansas City Chiefs running back. He was talking about.
Dude, just so you know.
First person that popped in my head was a Larry Hughes.
Dude. If anybody wants to go back and rewatch the podcast, I followed Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson hasn't come across my feed in a while. On episode 66, Danilo goes, Larry Johnson. I go, oh my God, I haven't seen a tweet from him in a while. So I go to Twitter and I find out that Twitter, for me, unfollowed Larry Johnson.
Right.
I deliberately went back, at that time, now discovering it, refollowed Larry Johnson. He was around in my life for another 3 or 4 weeks, and it takes till episode 77. Mm-hmm. It's the numbers of 11. See, we just keep doubling. Now 77. And you remind me, I haven't seen Larry Johnson in months, dude.
Right.
Now I got to go refollow him. So back to Steve's point. He goes, bad people were running Twitter. We're gonna double back to your Larry Johnson point.
Don't worry.
But he goes, bad people are running Twitter. Dude, there's minute examples right there. Another point, I look at my dad and I go, I'm supposed to believe I'm crazy because I got 200 followers to believe that my voice on opinions they don't like are being shadow banned. You're a nobody. Why would they shadow ban you? Dude, Elon Musk is buying Twitter, and they've been getting caught like just shredding. They're just deleting code and reverting back to the basic code. And I'm telling my dad this, and he goes, you're crazy. You're crazy. Dude, I have been a Twitter hit this week.
Right.
I have been falling on deaf ears for 2 years. Now I'm reaching strangers like I've never had before.
So 1,000%. Let me interrupt you real quick. Do you think the reason that it's got to this point, though, because there's no way Jack Dorsey would, no matter what billions of dollars he's getting, would just be like, you know what, I'm going to give up Twitter. I think there's a big reason behind this, a huge reason behind why Dorsey decided, let's just give up Twitter. You know how many times Mark Zuckerberg's been in court lately because of these old fuckers up top asking him questions about technology, and he laughs at them, as I was too, laughing at the questions they're asking a technology guy about, do you realize this, or do you realize, he's like,
what's a light?
Yeah, all these random questions. But do you think Jack Dorsey's watching Instagram and Facebook and how they're censoring, controlling this, that? And all of a sudden he's like,
Jack Dorsey was not the CEO. We got to remember, Jack Dorsey stepped down as he was the majority owner, stake owner with, what was it, like 9%, and then Elon Musk came in with like 13 or something. Yeah. So
majority owner
no, sorry. He had 3%. Elon came in with 12. So the highest stake owner before Elon was Jack Dorsey with only 3%. And it's important to note that Jack Dorsey stepped down as CEO like a year ago and just threw some ham puppet in there just for the downfall. Here's the other thing. You're just hearing about this now. And Elon Musk doesn't become a billionaire by just going, I'm buying Twitter today. This is 4D chess. This has been in play not just for months, but for a long time. They've been playing, all right, how do we play the social narrative? How do we play the stocks? How do we play the company itself? Here's the other thing, dude. Reverting back to Twitter's going to get in big trouble for lying about their code and manipulating people. That's why
you got to pull up some of Elon Musk's tweets throughout this, because some of his tweets are funny as shit.
Oh, well, he's been knocking out of the park. That's why you fall in love with him.
Well, that's why. But I think that's what they want. Like,
Yes.
It's like a trap.
Back to the Trump thing.
It's a trap,
Controlled opposition.
No,
because they want distraction. It's more
but also they want you to think that he's like one of us. You know what I mean? He's like a guy that you can, you know what I mean? You can comprehend, you can understand where he's coming from. He's like a bro. You know what I mean? And that's where you get the narrative that Elon Musk is a good guy. Okay,
Elon Musk. I saw a video.
I'll agree with you. He's not a good guy. I just don't know why yet.
I just need to further Danilo's point. You also have Elon Musk, where this guy has so much money, not just enough money to be comfortable for lives to come, but he has enough money. I saw a video to buy every MLB team, every NFL team, every NHL team, every NBA team, and still have enough left over to buy a bunch of professional football teams, soccer teams.
Right.
And so, to me, it's like, you've gone too far. You're no longer a good guy. Any good person realizes, I got enough.
Right.
I got enough, and at least I could help more people. Or you should never be sitting on a pile that big like Scrooge McDuck.
Yes, I agree with you. Until you're in that position. Listen, this goes back to the first human being that ever existed in this world. They got power or money or both, and then they tried to get more of it. No human being has ever stopped to try and get any of that. And I don't care what it is, until you get to that point. I agree with you on that point, but I will disagree in the aspect of having Elon Musk be the one to solve world hunger. There is a lot of other avenues to go down.
Wait. Saying you have too much money isn't saying that the rest of the money is going to solve all the problems. But I don't know if you ever saw a video of...
Who would you rather have? Let me ask you this question. Who would you rather have the money? The U.S. government or Elon Musk?
How about this one? Third option, all of us.
Now you're getting
cheap shot. No, but it's obvious. It's the obvious answer.
How does that money get to us?
What makes it obvious? It's innate to your nature. What?
Universal income? How does that get to us? Universal income?
No. What you're now talking about is the distribution of that wealth. The reality is, I don't care if you're worth $100 trillion, you don't get to sit on it. So go buy bridges. Go buy buildings. Go buy cars. That money needs to be funneled back into us.
Do you believe he's sitting on it?
And you don't have you don't inevitably have a pile like that unless you're sitting on it.
Well, that's where you need to do some research on
but
how
you're
he bought
investing
Twitter. How he bought Twitter.
But of the $300 billion,
it's not being bought till the end of the year.
No. I hold on. First, let's address the person that's going to go. But of those hundreds of billions of dollars, a lot of them are invested in multiple different companies. And that's fine. But the point is, even if you can't back to the numbers. I'm not a number guy. I also don't have the calculator in front of me. But somebody can do the math to have this much money, you would have to spend this much a day. Okay, it's probably an impossible amount. But that even further emphasizes how go buy an island and put self-sustaining restaurants and stuff. Like, you can develop so much with that money, and it doesn't have to be in America. We are looking at this wall. But I can't see 10 walls past it. So it's super easy to forget that there's kids that would work their ass off for just a meal today.
Would they? Right. I'm having a hard time finding employees.
Because you're dealing with
hard time finding employees.
It's because you're dealing with fat, lazy Americans. Again,
so how is Elon Musk going to solve that with his billions of dollars? He can't motivate people.
Yes, you can. Oh, you know what? So now let's go back to
if money's the end all be all.
I'm gonna go back to Elon Musk really quick. I was gonna get to a point that you guys. I just don't think many people should be looking at Elon Musk as like a guy that's gonna be your savior. I think that. From the first time he wrote the tweet, like in 2016 or whatever, in 2018 maybe, that he was going to buy Twitter, it was 4 months. It was like 4 months, 4 years, and like 4 days ago. And then he bought it for $44 billion.
Don't they call those angel numbers or something?
No, it's not angel numbers. It's just like it's this guy, Aleister Crowley, wrote a book on the fours, and he was a known devil worshiper or like Illuminati guy. You see that Biden just accepted that they would send $33 billion to Ukraine for its funding. 33 is a Mason number.
It's an Illuminati number. They do everything based off numbers. Everything is timed. Everything is perfected.
Wasn't the first number? Just a quick question. I think you probably know this. The first billions of dollars we sent over, wasn't it 88 billion?
I don't know.
The first number of billions I thought was in something back to back.
Right. I honestly don't know. I was looking at this. So like, and he was even like posted as Johnson. He like posted a book. The book was like the Book of Fours or something. How it's like, and it's like the flames and like devil. So it's like everything that they do is very calculated. It's brilliant. Like that's why so many people sometimes can get caught up in the agenda because it's like a psychological. It's so deeply intelligent, and you can get caught up in it. Also, going back to Musk and Tesla, the reason why I still don't believe him is because he is very big on like connecting people with AI and like the source and like chipping, which is so I think that the main thing that he's going to do is that with the cars, the electrical cars, they're beginning to drive themselves, right? Or they're going to have the ability to drive themselves. It's all going to be connected to the AI, the source, whatever they call it, the cloud, right? Yep. So that's how you're going to be able to drive self-driving cars because it's electrical. You don't have to, no gas, nothing. So basically, if you're not following like whatever they want to say, or if you're not following the rules, you can't go anywhere. You're going to be basically stuck in your house, right?
Dude.
And AI is going to be able to see what you're doing, how your emotions are, how you're feeling. I don't know if I was watching Ocean's 11 or whatever, Ocean's 13. They were seeing people how they had an AI tracking system on if people were actually counting cards or if they were when they ever won the jackpot, if it was genuine, because the AI could see the heart levels, the anxiety levels, and to see if it was actually genuine from you. So they're going to be able to track everything. So crazy. Everything is just kind of going back to how these guys can track you. Does that make sense?
No, 100%.
So Twitter, even when it's like when I saw Twitter, I don't watch the news. You know what I mean? But I just don't believe it. You know what I mean? Because
Brecksville. Okay, so I have to deal with at my court something that I'm not constitutionally or legally comfortable with, and it's these camera tickets. Mm-hmm. Not because, listen, you're speeding, that's true, but the reality is, where does the line end? And our idea of law has always kind of understood of that being an overreach. I have a right to face my accuser. You don't get to just throw cameras everywhere. Mm-hmm. Now, someone like Brecksville, so we have two jurisdictions that do that, and they're definitely taking hell for it, but they don't care because they have made a stupid amount of money. If I could tell you what the money they made, your gut would curl. Mm-hmm. And that's the incentive for a city to do this, right. That they'll make stupid money. So now cut back over to Brecksville. Brecksville, they go, hey, we're good people. We get it. This is an overreach. We're not doing that.
Right.
What we're going to do, though, is we're going to put cameras at every entrance of the main roads into the city. And they're not going to be telling your speed. We respect you. But what they are going to do, now, pause. We have a condo in Florida. In Florida, it's a little island, and it's one road. They have this system, and it's a camera system. Now, it's perfect for this island because it's a camera system on either end, and it's 20 miles long or whatever it is. So if you get in on, their theory is if they're trying to chase someone down, a robber or some shit, and they see that he got on at one end, because what it does is scan license plates. All it does is scan license plates, not speed, nothing. So they'll go, all right, the guy came on the island, but we know he hasn't gotten off the island. That's a pretty cool trick because you're a one-road island, and that's neat. I get it. And they've had it forever. But Brecksville, they go, we want to do the same thing. But there's so many comings and goings and ways that isn't going to be the utility for them that the island people in Florida really gain. What it is it's a precursor. First, we get you comfortable with this, that we're just checking license plates for your safety to make sure none of the riffraff gets in your pretty town. Right. But then it leads to exactly your point. Jim Carrey said it. It happened in I Am Legend. I brought it up on the podcast. You have Jim Carrey goes, the electric car is great. But just wait until you have too many outstanding parking tickets and you turn that car on and it drives you right to the police station. Right. Or whatever the case may be. This is all if you don't see how it's setting yourself up to lose your autonomy. For what? A false sense of security? We had none of that technology before with our parents, and they were able to walk the street safely. Neighborhoods weren't in danger.
You're talking about that. I mean, I think for the general audience, we can relate this to something that will understand completely, perfectly outside of technology. everything relating to COVID. It started with 2 weeks to slow the spread, because that was the first step of it. As you're talking about cameras, right? Cameras in and out is the first step to it. Let's get you used to that. First step was 2 weeks to slow the spread. We're going to shut every business down in the entire country for 2 weeks to slow the spread. And then what happened? The spread didn't slow down, right? Because if you were talking to me, I could have told you that from the beginning. The spread was not going to slow after 2 weeks. I mean, what are we talking about? You're telling me however many millions of people in this country are going to stop this? We've had freedom for our entire lives, and all of a sudden, no, it's going to stop.
Right.
Then what happened? Mask, vaccine, and they just kept taking the steps a step further, a step further, a step further, a step further. Same thing with the speeding and picture and all that stuff. They're going to take it a step further until they can't. Until they can't. But until they can't, I think the can't part is the scary part, because we're all now relying on people to speak up. And that's not happening. That's the scary part.
I think.
Pause.
Yeah.
I don't know if that pause means anything.
Wait, real quick. Is there a
Yeah, well,
pizza or something?
that's what I was going to grab, and I want to get these bottles in line to
Yeah.
make it a lot better for you.
And then can I get a little
and then
more
do
wine?
that, and
And then we'll have like a legitimate episode real quick for a quick hour.
Was this just things you're gonna cut? You were just gonna cut.
I was just gonna make a clip,
Yeah,
I'm gonna call it the episode 77 pregame
Oh, okay, I got you.
or something like that. But real quick, because I want to hear
Are you gonna
Danilo's
get the
point.
pi- are you gonna get the
yeah,
pizza?
he's getting the pie.
Okay.
What's really cool is, to Steve's point, they're going to keep taking until someone stops them. I know you're familiar with Jordan Peterson, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Jordan Peterson, he says it all the time with these regimes. They're going to push up until the point that they get a reaction.
Right.
Now, once they get an alarming reaction, people are, there's a reaction, they're going to stop. They don't retract. They push, and then they stop. Then it's stalemate right there until you get comfortable with that. They make you wear masks. They put a muzzle on your face. They close your business. They tell you you're not allowed to see your family on Thanksgiving, and then you get pissed. So they stop.
Yeah.
Okay, go have your summer. Then we're going to have an Omicron, right? Like, it's all these. So that's the game, and literally Steve articulated it. The sad part is too many people are just totally blindly ignorant to it.
Which I don't even know. Like I was telling you earlier, like I used to post a lot of stuff on Instagram trying to like not
Wake
wake
'em up.
people, but like
No, but that was
people,
what you wanted.
yeah, but people are gonna understand you to their level of consciousness. So like if you
Great point.
if you haven't gotten it by now, it's just like, dude, you know what I mean? Now on Instagram I'm like more posting like funny stuff just to keep like a light mood, because everyone's like tight. You know what I mean? Everyone's like scared. So get a laugh out, whatever, but I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Everything they do has a greater agenda. And all that agenda does is to take away your soul and to take away your freedom and to take away your uniqueness and become part of the whole system. Yeah. And when you become part of the system, I feel like you just become like a robot. Not like a robot, but you just don't have there's no life to you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So the way
You become a drone.
Yeah, and I feel like, so I don't know, they just want to control, and if you have your own your uniqueness, you have your own identity, you know who you are, you're self-aware. It's very tough for someone to hold you back because you know who you are and you have your freedom within you, and you will do anything to keep that freedom. Because when you become self-aware, you feel something inside of you that you've never felt before, and you love that feeling. And anytime someone tries to take that away from you, you won't allow it, because you feel that energy and you feel that vibration, and it's something that you just feel very liberated from. And it's very enlightening, and it's very it's beautiful. You know what I mean? So I just try to stay on that path. Just try to stay open-minded and try to be who you are. The problem is there's no one step or a couple step process to find out who you are. I always look back like when you were 10, 12 years old, before your parents started being like, you got to go to college, you got to do this, you got to this. And parents are great, you know what I mean? They've brought you into this world, and I respect it. Sometimes you have to just be like, you know what, like this is what I want to do. It will bring me happiness, and that's it. You know what I mean? Not about the money. Now I'm just like on a fucking rant.
Dude, but
right
it's
now.
true. I had a thought.
But it's all everything they're trying to do is just trying to keep you bottled up.
Dude.
And keep you from being who you are, and keeping you from just being that unique individual.
Yes.
Be that unique individual. Do what you want to do in life because that will truly bring you bliss. And I try to do that. I go overseas. I've told people multiple times, I really do enjoy it over there. I love the lifestyle there. People are like, well, money this, money that. I can come back. When I'm 34, 35, if I honestly do need to make money, I can come back to America and but for right now, in my life purpose, I enjoy doing this. You know what I mean?
You have to. The pie is here.
Oh my God,
guys,
yes.
I appreciate you. You probably enjoyed this combo. If you want to check out the full thing, you got to click on over to episode 77 of the Rethink Tank podcast right now.
Whiskey? It's whiskey?
Yeah, this is a whiskey.
Okay.
But now that the pie's here, we gotta get ready for the real episode. So I hope you enjoyed the pregame. You got to click over to episode 77 to check out the full conversation.
Do they know?